So what's up, guys? Again, it's me, Jay. Just some corrections on the Kelly Price video that I did just like an hour or so ago. Well, a few corrections. I said that she's been for a couple of weeks now. She's actually been missing for over a month, and she had COVID again, like I said, back in July, and she was released from the hospital, but nobody has heard from her since, and she's now on the missing persons reports. They questioned the boyfriend on her whereabouts, but allegedly the boyfriend says that he knows nothing about where she was. But again, you know, this could be something of a domestic violence dispute. She, the article doesn't say that it was domestic violence. It just says that she's missing after she came out of the ICU. Again, this is R&B singer Kelly Price, R&B and gospel singer Kelly Price. Um, People remember her from the late '90s on such songs as like "Heartbreak Hotel" and a few other hits uh, that she had, like "As We Lay" back in the '90s. The '90s version of "As We Lay," anyway. But yeah, she was a tremendous voice. She really was one of those people, one of those artists that I remember that really stuck out as far as vocally. She didn't have a lot of hits, you know what I mean? But she stuck out vocally as far as that in the R&B game. But I always thought, you know, um, that they never really gave her much of a fair chance in R&B, so she then switched to gospel, which I don't really know that much about um, her gospel career. But again, I hope that she turns up in the state of Georgia. It's really sad and unfortunate that something like this would happen, but I suspect myself that the boyfriend is behind this. And I do, although I had to retract the statement as far as dates, I do I do think that it is a domestic violence dispute. Because why is it that the only the boyfriend is the only one that could know about her whereabouts? Maybe she had been released into his custody and he had done something to her, like buried her in the woods somewhere without the family knowing. And obviously, he's probably thinking that he would probably get access to her wealth. She posted in July that she was um she had contracted COVID, and the family encouraged her again to go into the hospital. She was then placed in ICU, and then she came out over a month ago, and now this happened again. If this is a domestic violence dispute, this is going to call attention to domestic violence in community in the world and in so in the community, because a lot of times again women's mind, and sometimes even men can be victims of domestic violence as well, but this is focusing in on a woman. Sometimes certain women, especially those that are more famous, can be heavily manipulated by a spouse, a husband, or a boyfriend, or whatever. And as soon as I read this story, this is what immediately came to my mind was domestic violence. Right away that the boyfriend really was behind this abduction or missing person status. Because say if he if she was released into his custody, Like I said, he could have buried her somewhere in the woods somewhere. But anyway, it is Georgia, it is the South, it is more rural, so he could have gotten away with this. But if um if she does turn up, obviously she'll be able to tell her story. But anyway, prayers to Kelly Price, prayers to her family, and I hope she comes up, and I hope who's ever responsible for her abduction or anything that was done harmful to her comes forth and confesses to their crimes, because violence against women and domestic violence is never a funny issue or never a comical issue or never an issue to take lightly. And in my channel here, I call attention to violence against women and girls. So, without jumping to conclusions, then not to say that this is a domestic violence issue and that the boyfriend is behind it, but if he is behind it, I hope he is brought to justice. Again, guys, thank you for viewing and thank you for contributing. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell button below. And prayers up for Kelly Price, and I hope she comes, she turns up and that she's fine and she's okay. Peace.